to news across the galaxy where they talk all things LA Galaxy with the Nag Boys. Let's start nagging.
It's raining. It's pouring. The old man is snoring. He went to bed and bumped his head, and he couldn't get up in the morning. A poem for Brian Schmelzer. This is News
Oh,
Across the Galaxy, where we talk all things LA Galaxy. I'm your host, Brian Lowe's, and I have two special guests and co-hosts with me. One, per usual, Edgar Zuniga. How you doing, sir?
what's up, man? It's been a very eventful weekend. I got an ice pack on my knee. That should tell you enough.
And a surprise appearance by one Mr. William Lobos. How you doing today, sir?
Hey, yo, I'm pretty good, man. Like that intro of yours. That was very soothing.
Thank you, Bars. Before we get into the game and everything, Edgar has been doing this kit tournament that's been going on for quite some time now. Um, Edgar, take the floor. The floor is yours.
Sir, yeah. It's funny. This is the second year that I run this in earnest. I've been doing kit reviews for 3 years, and I said it last year, like, hey, what if I took the kits and put them in like a tournament style bracket and let people decide which one they think is the best? And last year, the LA kit won, the LA Galaxy kit. It was in the final against Columbus, and there was a good number of votes, I have to say. It went as well as I would have hoped. But this year, we have a lot more connections. We have a lot of friends that run their own podcasts across the league. And I asked them, hey, guys, can you guys, pitch in and spread the word? And they're like, yeah, dude, just let us know. So we have had a large number of people voting this year, especially St. Louis, Charlotte, Galaxy always shows up, and even LAFC fans were showing up. And so I was like, this is good because I want a good, unbiased, organic result for this tournament. I want to see what people really think is going to be the best. And so we were down to the final four, and the final four featured Chicago return a red jersey versus the LA Galaxy's Angelino kit. And I run this poll for 3 days because, as I have seen, 3 days gives people to spread the word, get their votes in, and then spread the word some more. And I've seen some swings where you think, oh, these guys are gonna win, and at the last hour or two, there's like a push and there's a comeback. With the Galaxy one, Galaxy was ahead the entire way until literally like the last 12 hours, and then the Chicago fans woke up or something and they came back. And so the return of red jersey advanced to the final with a 54.6% of the vote, 636 votes, 636. You're like, wow, okay, that's a good number of people. And then we look at the other half side. It was Charlotte's really nice Carolina Kit Explorer. That's the name of the shirt, the Carolina Kit Explorer, and against St. Louis City's the Confluence Kit. And the Confluence Kit had gone this far based on the fact that St. Louis citizens, sports fans, are proud to say that they vote in large numbers and they will push for their city and for their sports teams and for whatever to be number one. In fact, Matt Baker, our good buddy from Flyover Footy, was mentioning how St. Louis Luligans actually pushed for the flag of St. Louis to be named the number one flag in the entire world, just based on the fact that they all just voted so much. So for a while, it seemed like, wow, St. Louis is going to run this all the way to the end. And then Charlotte got involved. And let me tell you, Lee from the COT Fan TV was like, we're not going to lose this. We're not going to lose this. I'm telling you right now, we're not going to lose this. And for a while there, it looked like St. Louis was getting away. And then Charlotte got closer and closer. It was neck and neck. And then some way, somehow, I don't know if you guys know who he is, YouTuber Macwell. He has a channel on YouTube. He has a lot of followers. He got wind of this, and he lives in Charlotte and in the Carolinas. And he was like, "There's no way that our kid is going to lose to a boring white kid." I mean, it's not a boring white kid, but still, that was what he said. And all of a sudden, there was like this huge swing, and Charlotte came back at the end with nearly 3,000 votes.
Damn.
Carolina won 57.3%. So it's going to be the final Chicago Fire's kit against the Carolina kit. I'm going to post this tomorrow in the morning time on the West Coast. 3 days to decide which one is going to be the best kit of 2024. It doesn't matter if you're not a Carolina fan. It doesn't matter if you don't like Chicago. Please vote, because I just want to get the most organic, unbiased result here. So whether you like Chicago's or Carolinas, go ahead and vote and have your voice heard, so that way we can crown a winner. Last year it was the LA Galaxy's LA kit, which deservedly so. It's a really nice shirt. But this year, yeah, Carolina versus Chicago. And I want to thank everybody that's voted so far. I really appreciate it. And hopefully next year it's going to be even bigger. So
Yeah.
that's it for today, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Edgar. Once again, putting in great work. If you want to see his field reviews of the kits that he has done, please visit nagtv.com. That is nagtv.com. You'll find some articles in there. You'll find, of course, the kit ranking, and a bunch of other little cool stuff. All right. Oh well, before I even get into what we're gonna get into, I'm gonna end up voting for the Chicago kit, because I think that kit is beautiful. It's
Is it fire?
yeah, it's fire.
Yeah.
it really does give me that old school feel of the first kit that they ever came out with. And we here in Music Across the Galaxy, we're into the classics. Of course, if they're one of the original teams, we like those type of comebacks from those jerseys. So I'm already voting for Chicago. All right, let's get into some LA Galaxy stuff. First, we'll go with the injury report. Jalen Neal, the timetable. I believe last time we had a discussion, Edgar, you said he might be 6 weeks out.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been updated. It's anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. He practically re-aggravated a sports hernia, which is an abdominal injury. And I mean, that's all we know for now. I mean, I'm sure there's a more official explanation of what's going on. But from the fans' perspective, from our perspective, that's what we know. I heard that he's already running and training. He's training by himself. So he's trying to get back into match fitness. People have seen him, obviously, at the stadium. You saw him all over social media this weekend. We're just hoping that he comes back. Because what happened in this game? Martin Cáceres went down.
And yeah, he went down, and it was mostly a muscular precaution. Vanny called it after in the post game interviews. Not sure exactly what that means.
It sounds like one of those hockey injuries. Like, what does he have? A lower body injury.
Oh, yeah, he has a scratch. Nah, I mean, if it's precautionary, of course you'd take him out right away, because we've seen Vanny leave players in when they're clearly injured, as the case was last season with Ricky Puig.
Yeah.
It could have went really bad with Ricky, where he doesn't return to the pitch ever. Glad that wasn't
Don't say that.
I know, but glad that wasn't the case. And so with an aging player like Martin Cáceres, a little pinch, you take him out right away. You don't want anything to be serious, especially because we're so thin in center back. Another injury somewhat update. Vanny mentioned that Dayon did not start against Seattle due to a groin injury that he obtained in Kansas.
BS.
Makes sense why he didn't start. Actually, I didn't even know that, and I was like, man, what is Vanny doing? And I was already going with my hate Vanny mindset. But if he did pick up a knock, I'm glad that he didn't start. But we'll see what the actual report is. Yes, Edgar.
Yeah, raise your hand if you've never had a groin injury. What? Lies.
Never.
So William, what's it like to pull your groin, and how long does it take to?
It takes a while. It takes a while. If he really did pull his groin, he would not be even substituting him. That's why when I saw that, and saw the report. Oh, he's feeling some type of non-count. That's BS.
What do you think it
Yeah, and
is?
it's difficult because when we heard that Miguel Berry was joining the team, we spoke to Tyler Pilgrim from Scarves and Spikes, and he was telling us like this guy's not gonna light up the night, but he will score a goal here and there, which was what we
Yeah,
saw in the
sounds
offseason,
about right.
right?
Mhm.
And is Miguel Berry the answer? No. So there's question marks in the back, there's question marks up top. But if you let me, I'll explain what happened with the Galaxy's trying to do to mitigate what's going on in the back. Uh, Pipe Sierra, a journalist for Win Sports and W Rayo Colombia, reported that the LA Galaxy are in the process of acquiring 22-year-old center back Carlos Garces, and they have reached an agreement with Deportivo Pereira, which is in the Colombian Liga de Mayor, on a loan with an option to buy. And the report adds that the visa process is already underway, which is fantastic. Got to give it up to his front office, man. They're on top of everything. So uh, that maybe it just goes to show that they don't know if Jalen Neal is going to be able to be match fit anytime soon, or they want to ease him in back into normal league play. So to pick up somebody like that is fantastic. You add depth to your back line, and because he's so young, maybe he's somebody that could develop some chemistry with Jalen Neal, who's also around the same age, and these guys could be up in the back line for a while, or at least until Jalen decides, okay, time to go to Europe.
Mhm.
And that's it.
Yeah, this corner of the Galaxy confirmed that the LA Galaxy is interested in said player. Uh, it would be a loan with the option to buy, which would be same thing that was with damn, I can't forget his name. Our right back.
Oh, Julian Aude?
Who? No, right back.
I'm
Last
sorry.
year, Brazilian.
Oh,
Calegari. Look, thank
Lucas
you,
Calegari.
Lucas Calegari.
Oh, studio audience is coming in.
Studio audience for the win. Yeah. So if okay, this is where it's such a trip from this season and last season. This season, I am I do not hesitate to give my trust to this front office and actually trust them to make a great signing for this team. We already seen two that have worked with Paint Sale and Peck. We've seen that they brought
And
in
McCarthy too.
McCarthy. When the Fagundes deal came in, you would have expected. Well, I wouldn't have expected this from a capable front office, and now we're linked to this player, and there's interest in there. I am not gonna say that I'm cautiously optimistic. I am very optimistic now. I am very happy with this front office, and I think everybody that's been going to the LA Galaxy games are very happy with what they're seeing on the pitch and what's going off the pitch with the signs that they're making. So let's go. It seems like
Yeah.
we're on the way up to being better. All right, around the league, there's been some situations going on in the great city of Austin. Austin FC fans are disgruntled and displeased with a certain coach. Edgar, what can you tell us more about this? Your mic is muted. Sorry, sir.
So
Mute.
sorry. Uh, that's how you know we're live, baby. The first time I heard about this, it was last season when Diego Fagundes came to LA Galaxy. Uh, I noticed that there was a Twitter space from Austin fans about it. I jumped on. I think I mentioned this before when we've talked on NAG, and they were pretty much talking about why Fagundes was sent away from Austin. And the biggest thing I kept hearing was that they have no faith in Josh Wolf, and that Josh Wolf pretty much uh, didn't like Fagundes for whatever reason, for personal reasons, and did not play him, did not use him, and didn't figure him into his schemes, and so eventually kind of pushed them out. And at the first chance he had, he got rid of Fagundes. Now, keep in mind, this was when Chris Klein was still running things for the Galaxy. So I remember when this happened, I actually made an observation where did you ever expect this front office to land somebody like Fagundes on their own? Hell no. And the guys from Austin said the same thing. They were like, "Yeah, this was a gift to the LA Galaxy. It was just Josh Wolf giving a gift to the LA Galaxy because there's no way anybody else would have let Diego Fagundes go. He's still a good player. He was a huge part of the Austin community." Flash forward to the beginning of, later on in the season, and some of the Austin fans that we ran into at the stadium were saying that they're having issues with Josh Wolf. They don't like the way he's been running the team. As you guys saw, Austin after that, had a terrible sophomore season. They're still having struggles, and things are getting worse. And before their game against Dallas this weekend, they actually had a banner outside the stadium. If you could, I reposted it or retweeted it. I'm sorry, whatever you call it now, on my Twitter page, and you could see whether the We Are Awesome TV guys put a video where it shows the fans right before the game started at Q2 Stadium, where they say "Wolf out." They're becoming more and more vocal about this. I remember when we spoke to an Austin fan last year before the game against Galaxy, he mentioned that they were watching intently what was going on with the LA Galaxy, because if the LA Galaxy would be successful in the whole Klein out situation, it would be like a blueprint for other supporters to do something similar, and also it would encourage other supporters to know that they could step up and use their voice. And we've seen it in Colorado. They had a great offseason after fans were voicing their distress, and now we're seeing it in Austin. So hopefully, their owner, who is a total scumbag, by the way, remember he tried to steal the Columbus Crew away from there,
Mm-hmm.
and he got in trouble with the local legislature too when he brought the team there. They told him, "You better take good care of this franchise because we're pulling a lot of strings for you." And so now the fans are angry with Josh Wolf. So hopefully they figure something out, because the fans, man, you gotta listen to them. That's your customer, baby. And the customer is always right.
I mean, are
For the
they
most,
always right?
are
For the
they?
most,
Hey,
are
Klein out, baby.
they?
Klein out.
For the most part, they're right.
Yeah, you
Man,
know,
Only if it's
when you
the
said
Colorado fans were right too. Even the Charlotte fans were protesting last year, and they got a new coach named Dean Smith, and things are up on the up for them.
yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah,
When you
I mean, those
when you
situations are they're tough to manage. Anyway, should we get into the game? Let's see. Hold on, I had my notes
Let's
here.
go.
Before we get into the lineup, let's look at some standings. Before this match came into play, Seattle Sounders were in dead last, and the LA Galaxy was in second place, looking to take the lead, top of the league. And they were chasing Minnesota. Let's go with the lineup for this game. They kind of have this lineup weird on WhoScored.com. They have it as a 4-4-2, but we know
well,
it's 4-3-3.
it kind of looked that way though when they first started. I don't know if you noticed, Paintsill was actually
Yeah,
more
well,
central, so
we'll get
that's
into
probably
that.
why.
We'll get into that. So at goal, J Mac, your two center backs, Maya Yoshida, Martin Casares. Out left, Julian Alde. Out right, Mickey Yamane. The three in the middle, well, supposed three in the middle, Mark Delgado, Gaston Brugman, Ricky Puig. Out left was Gabriel Peck. Out right, Joseph Paintsill. And up top, Miguel Berry. With this lineup, what did you guys think of this lineup? Because I know we had this pre-discussion about Joe Willis being injured. I didn't know he was injured, to be honest. So I was kind of mad that Miguel Berry started, simply because I wanted Dejan Jovic to break the record in this particular match. How'd you guys see it?
I saw it as Vanny trying to do Vanny things. Because it was Smelter, right? He was trying to outthink himself, and as we know, he's always been outcoached by Smelter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he, in the last couple times that they played each other, he's always tried different things, and it's always shot him in the foot. He's always shot himself on the foot, and it felt, at least in the beginning of this game, it felt like, oh wait, maybe he's onto something. Whatever. At the end of the day, if you said Jovic was injured, then why even have him on the bench? Because if you're gonna try something new, try it in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you try it in the first half, especially knowing that Jovic right now is on fire? I feel like this is a conspiracy theory that Vanny has it out for Jovic and didn't want him to break a record.
Dude, that is some
I mean,
that is some tinfoil shit right there, man.
that is some super tinfoil. What do you think about that tinfoil thought of Willis's, Edgar?
I mean, that was quite a swerve at the end there. I mean, I was agreeing with him at the beginning where I saw the lineup, and I didn't get to go to the game. It was my son's birthday, but one of the opportunities I got to sit down and take a breath, I was like, "Hey, what a weird lineup." I was like, "Miguel Berry, what the hell is he doing there?" And like William said, I was like, this is Vanny doing Vanny things, I guess. He's trying to do something to throw Schmetzer off. We're like, oh, you're not using, Joveljic? Who the hell's this Barry guy? And I figured maybe he saw something that we didn't see, and Barry is going to exploit that based on his fantastic skills. And obviously, it didn't work out like that. But now that I heard that Joveljic is hurt, I'm like, well, I guess that makes sense. I mean, who else are you going to put in there? And then you realize, oh my God, we're pretty thin up top too. So,
Yeah. But
yeah.
it feels to me, I mean, Miguel Berry is the other forward that the LA Galaxy has, but you still have a Fagundes on the bench that you could have used on the offensive side. Maybe throw Peck as your actual striker. I know it's me playing with the lineups and putting players in positions that they probably don't go in, but have we seen it on the game? He didn't offer much. I think the reason he probably started, and it is it's a legit reason why he probably started, is because he's a big body, and that's a big target.
Yeah.
And you'd want to at the beginning of the match. I mean, you want to hit these guys early and hit them hard. Like Edgar mentioned earlier, like he'll get you one once in a while. This could have been the one that he could have got us. He didn't, but I'm pretty sure that's what Vanny was thinking. Big target. Let's punk their defenders. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention, when we spoke to Cheyenne from Rave Green TV in the midweek preview of the game, if you guys don't know who he is, he covers Seattle Sounders for Rave Green TV. Anyway, we're discussing potential lineups, and I said it would be fantastic if Gaston Brugman got the start, because I feel like he's due to really get going and start his season off, and he did. So that was a great positive. But other than that, it seems like the same lineup we've been seeing week in, week out, just with the exception of Joveljic not being there. I feel like you really miss his firepower. It's kind of funny to say because I've been criticizing him every week, but he gets his little tap ins, right? But what a mess of a game, because that field looked absolutely horrible to play on. God, it looked like a slip and slide.
Yeah, it was a very ugly match. It was raining heavily before the match even started, maybe like an hour before. Not many people were there before the match. It wasn't until like maybe half hour before the match started when people started showing up, because it did dry up a little bit more. Once you got inside, though, you could see the puddles of water that were on the pitch, and they were still trying to work on it and try to kind of clean it up in order for the match to continue and not be as grimy as it was. But even then, you saw it on TV. I'm pretty sure you saw it on TV. I saw it there live. Yeah, and it kind of played into Seattle weather. Which
somebody mentioned, like, what's the Seattle mascot? And I was like, I guess it's the little orca. But then I was like, you know what? Hell no. They're bringing their real mascot for this game, which is the rain.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh, speaking of orcas or whales, I rewatched the game, and the stream glitched for some reason. I forgot what game I was watching.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, and there was a little whale, a little blue whale.
Yeah, one of the Atlanta guys posted that on Twitter. Like, what the hell is this? Like, it shows like a little whale. It's like snapping. It was like snapping or something, or biting something. It was flying across the screen.
It was a cool little whale.
The weirdest little thing.
I loved it though. It was a cool
foreshadowing. It was foreshadowing.
Yeah, it was foreshadowing. Anyway, this match starts. right away, 2 minutes in, Joseph Painsil hits the post, and you at that moment, I was already convinced. All right, we're gonna smash the team. That was the
Same.
first sign of danger. The team came out hungry. They came out like they wanted to kill this team. We've mentioned this on the show that the team has that mantra in the back of their minds that's go out there and kill everybody. And then right away they got a dangerous play. How did you guys see that in that first little dangerous play? Willis, let's start with you.
Uh, it was such a good play in the beginning too. They're trying to catch him off guard. The rain had a part to do with it as well. It was good play by Ricky. I mean, he noticed Payne still just streaking by. Hit him on the chest. I mean, it wasn't the greatest pass, but it was enough to hit him on the stride. Caught it on a good foot. Went around Fry. All you had to do was curve it in with the left. We know Painsell is a righty, so I really don't know why he. I mean, he should have made that goal. Honestly, he had the keeper beat already, but that was just basically a warning shot. I don't know why he. I don't know why he missed it. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, it's a wet ball and a
Yeah,
wet pitch.
I
on a
get
rainy
the
day.
weather.
I mean, it's one
Yeah.
of those things.
Yeah.
But definitely, people would call this a shot across the bow, right?
Mhm.
Like, boom! Like, oh shit, these guys came out
I
firing.
got excited, man. I got tingly too.
Yeah,
I was like, "Ooh, yeah, we're gonna smash."
Yeah,
it didn't take long, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
didn't take long. And then, after that, it was the first 2 minutes of the match where that first shot of danger happened. And it didn't take that long after that for the first goal
Yeah.
of one Gabriel Peck to go in back of the net. It was
Yeah.
at minute 4. I noticed something in that play and throughout this first half that the right side of the attack on our end, we were overloading that. It seemed like
Oh yeah,
like
Big
Peck,
time.
Paintsil, Puig,
Yamane.
and Delgado, Yamane were
Yeah.
just on that side. And shout out to Vanny for scouting that because it seemed very easy for the LA Galaxy to kind of cause danger on that section of the pitch. I mean, there should have been more goals, but just because of what the weather was, there wasn't. But how'd you guys see that overload? You guys give Vanny credit for doing that, for actually scouting and probably out coaching Brian Smetzer in that particular aspect?
Yeah. I think it is credit to him. I think that was the game plan to begin with. I found it a little interesting that they chose the side of Nuhu instead of Baker, which was their rookie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a youngster, so maybe I would have chose their right side just to kind of test the youngster out. But hey, it was working. That whole left side or our right side, it was just overloaded, and all the plays were coming into that side. So, and they were working them hard. I mean, Nuhu had troubles in the first 15 minutes. So, and obviously that's when we got our goal within the 15 minutes.
Anything to add to that, Edgar?
Yeah, we've been watching LA Galaxy actually. A lot of the attack has been running on that right side throughout as the season has progressed, doing the most that they can with Paintsil's speed and his ability to get behind defenses. But the fact that they were overloading that side, it looked really cool. It was funny. It was almost like they were rotating people in and out to attack. Go, your turn to run. Go, your turn to run. So I thought that was kind of cool. At the same time, I was thinking, well, they're causing so much chaos in that corner. Maybe that's gonna free up Peck to come in on the back door, either on a shot across the box, or on a pass that's filtered through the box, and he can just come in and score. Obviously, the goal didn't happen quite exactly like that, but there's two factors in that goal that I want to bring up. The first one is what a pretty play by Paintsil to set that up. Obviously, the 3 P's were there, the killer P's, right? A triple P, whatever you want to call it, they were all involved in that play. But for Paintsil to have a nice little depth pass to Peck, who found the space to get a shot off, he took a nice shot that was low, forcing Frey to get down. And in the midweek preview, our friend Cheyenne was saying that he's had enough of Frey. He feels like Stefan Frey is done. He's past his time, and that they need to let the Seattle backup have his shot. And as soon as that happened, as soon as the goal happened, you heard the play-by-play announcer say, Stefan Frey could have done better with this.
Of course.
Maybe it's the rain. I mean, if you ever play goalkeeper in the rain, it's kind of hard, to keep your hands on the ball. Um, but they play in the rain enough in Seattle where I'm thinking these guys should be used to that anyway. So there's that, and the other thing was that it wasn't exactly Peck's best shot,
Straight
but
at the
it was
goalie.
just
Straight out.
but no, but he, but the thing is, like, he put enough swerve on it that it slipped away from from old man Frey, and so hey, where whether it's a
I'll
pretty
take it.
goal
Yeah,
or
I'll
some
take
ugly
it.
ass goal, we'll take it, baby.
back
And
of the
Yeah.
net. It's
you
because you
know,
know what it is. They might have Seattle rain, but they're not used to Los Angeles rain.
that's funny, dude.
Shit is
Me.
acid out here.
Oh shit. The good thing is that Gabriel Peck opened up his goal account with the LA Galaxy, and
True.
it was nice to see him score. Now our DPs have all scored goals, so there you go,
Yeah,
baby.
beautiful, and it's beautiful to
So
see. I do want to mention something that happened in that play. I don't know what to make of it, but it started off with Yamane giving it the pass to Paintsil. Yamane making an overlap run. Paintsil didn't hit him, and he
Yeah,
kind of threw a
Yamada
fit.
was mad, right?
Yeah, he threw a fit. He gave it to Pooch. Pooch gave it back to Paintsil. Paintsil to Peck, and it went in. What do you make of that somewhat fit that Yamane threw for not getting the pass after making that overlapping run?
he was making that run. Well, I guess that was kind of the beginning of what his day was going to look like throughout because he was getting ignored the whole day.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a Painsil and Yamane thing where it's just miscommunication, language barrier. It might be something like that, but he was making those runs all day and he wasn't getting the ball back. So maybe he just got tired of it and said, "Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah, it's understandable though, because you're wasting a lot of your energy making those
Yeah.
overlapping runs, and of course you want to be involved in the offensive play. But I also think when you make those runs, you open up space for other players as well to do their work. So when you make that overlapping run, you're pulling a defender, which is going to give Paintsil space to work, or Pooj, or Peck, and you know what they can do with the ball on their feet. Um, it seemed a little weird that he threw a fit, especially because he's such a veteran, right?
It was
You
so
don't
early
expect better.
too.
Yeah, it's so early in
Yeah.
the match. I mean, and the end result was a goal, regardless. So I'm pretty sure after he was like, "Oh, my bad. I just want I made the run. You guys didn't see me with the book."
I think
But
it's funny because it was comical seeing him do that, right? And it instantly caught your attention. And I'm wondering if maybe some of the Seattle players were like, "What's going on over there?" Right?
yeah,
But maybe they were talking to each other, off the camera, away from the ball, where they're like, "Hey, man, make that run, I'll hit you." And then in the end, he did it. So Yamane's like, "What the hell, man?"
yeah.
But
He got mad in anime. That was funny.
hey, that's racist. No, I'm just kidding.
What? Anime has no race. What are you talking about?
Yep, that is the fact.
Hell yeah.
Let me give you some stats of this first half because I mean, if you all saw, that was the only goal that happened throughout this match.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. So in this first half, the shot totals was 6-8 in favor of Seattle. I would guess that would have been the outcome due to them being kind of accustomed to this type of weather and playing in this type of weather. Possession was actually even 50-50 in that first half. Same thing with the pass success rate, 78-78. And they had more corners than us, which, kind of scares me because we're kind of bad in set plays. We didn't have any. They had 3, but they didn't put anything in the back of the net. And I mean, for the most of the first half, it was an ugly game. And to be honest, I was rewatching it back. And I mean, when I was there in the stadium,
It
it
was
was
awesome.
amazing. It was amazing. Everybody was happy. The chants were going. And, we're up 1-0. Of course, it's going to be amazing. Watching it back, I tried watching it twice the first half, and I fell asleep the first time. So that should tell you how good
It's the
this game
weather.
was. Yeah,
It was the weather,
it was
man.
the weather. And, I mean, kudos to the LA Galaxy for being able to get a result out of this. And then, of course, the second half starts, and it's the same thing. An ugly game. And I can't really point out any highlights from that second half that we could talk about. Do you guys have anything?
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing much. I mean, the rain played a big factor. Like you said, it kind of muddied up the game, but
Yeah.
both teams just I thought both teams played well, and they both played to what they had to play, which was LA Galaxy trying to defend and Seattle going after it in the second half because they had to,
Yeah.
and they did a really good job at it as well.
Yeah, one of the things that we have to keep in mind also is that it kind of felt like Schmetzer kind of still outcoached Vanny despite the result,
Yeah,
because we see it in the number statistics. All
yeah,
right, Galaxy had very low expected goals. Seattle had the glut of possession, and if you see those kind of statistics, you would think that Seattle would have at least put one in the back of the net. So credit to John McCarthy for some for his goalkeeping, and to the Galaxy defense, also Zabaleta.
Yeah.
Right,
Hell yeah.
Yo,
he came in and
we didn't even touch
that's
that on the first half. That was a highlight for the first half. I mean,
Yeah.
Castro
yeah,
was going out.
Cáceres going out. Yeah, we forgot to mention Cáceres going out and King
yeah.
Zabaleta coming in. Of course, that's why they say at 0. Duh.
King nephew.
But just to put a bow on this game, we can't we cannot like just say, oh, Galaxy got away with one, because at the end, Jordan Morris almost punished the LA Galaxy. But
Yep.
once again, this is another player that in our midweek preview, Shayan from Red Green TV mentioned that he needs to go. He says Jordan Morris, he's been a great player for this franchise, but like many Seattle players, he's aging, and they need to move on from him. And he's not as reliable as he used to be. And you could say, oh, but it was the rain, but he had a golden opportunity to bring Seattle even, and he didn't. And I would think that, and I'll get into this later on, but like a player that's in form and better weather, that's a goal,
Yeah.
and the result would be different. We'd be talking about a different game. I mean, obviously, they didn't lose the game. They didn't do enough to lose the game, but one of those things where like, whoa, we're
Yeah.
okay.
One
They
of
messed up
yeah,
to
they
our
messed
benefit.
up. But check this out though. If this game was played on the greatest of days in the dry ass pitch, I think the LA Galaxy would have run that team over. The way the LA Galaxy is playing right now, I don't know what it is. We'll get to it later, Edgar, because I know you have some words to say about this team. But I think this team would have ran them over. There were some key subs in that second half with Gaston Brumba coming out and Serio going in. I'm guessing it was just defensive purposes.
Yeah.
And then Miguel Berry coming out for Dejan Joveljic at the 67th. What groin injury? So maybe
That-
Willis is onto something.
Telling you. Well, you know what? Honestly, I just said that just to kind of poke at Vanny, but I don't know. Could be true, could be not. Whatever. Point is, I don't understand why would you put him in there if you're trying to defend.
Yeah.
If you're trying to defend, then you might as well put either leave Painter up there or somebody else and bring in another defender.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that was also something that was kind of for me a little confusing what Vanny was doing. But as we mentioned earlier, Vanny doing Vanny things.
Yeah.
That's his thing. That's his MO. He likes to put a stamp on the game and likes to do things his way. So
Also, Joseph Painter came out in the 85th for Diego Fagundes,
yeah,
who I'm kind of sad that he's not getting as many minutes just because he started off with the team on fire. And, it seemed like it could have been one of his redemption years. It's not a bad thing that we have him because he could be easily a game changer coming off the bench. It's just kind of sad to see that he's not going to get as many minutes. But, I mean, the LA Galaxy has
he
a
will.
reliable winger in Gabriel Peck. So, I mean, I'm not complaining that much.
He will. He will
We have
because of all the games.
Yeah.
All the games that are coming up. So
a super chat right here, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Thank
Read it
you,
off, sir.
Israel Barragan. Israel. He asks, do you think Smeltzer feels he could have won? Guys?
Does he
Yeah.
think he could have won? I think every coach thinks they could win any match.
Against
But,
Vanny.
Yeah, and the thing was, I was just about to say that. Just the fact that he's had Vanny's number for so
Yeah,
long.
that's
Well,
true.
let me give you a little stat. Do you guys know when the last time the LA Galaxy beat the Seattle Sounders in regular MLS play? It was
Dude, it was a
aside
long time ago.
from the MLS Cup that we beat the Tacoma kids or
The
whatever.
baby sounders.
The baby sounders, the baby belugas or whatever.
Maybe. Nice.
It was in 2018. Last
Yeah.
time that we beat them.
6 years ago.
Yeah, that's 11 matches without beating them. And so,
Yep.
I know the guy actually didn't have Greg Vanney as coach then, but Brian Spencer was giving it to him in Toronto in those years. So, of course, Brian Spencer thought that he could have, walk into Dignity Health Sports Park and get a win on a rainy day. But, sir, nah. You fell down and
Not
bumped your
today.
head. Remember? You fell down and bumped your head.
We have another question in the chat, by the way. Michael, he wants to know what was up with J Mac's horrible distribution all game long.
The pitch. I want to say it was a pitch.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were just trying to boot it out there, which, I mean, at that moment, you should, especially because he's a keeper. Most keepers don't have good feet like that. Do you guys remember?
He definitely doesn't.
You guys remember a guy by the name of Jonathan Bond? He wasn't good with his feet. Yeah, McCarthy isn't either.
Bond.
Yeah, just boot him out. And I think Vanny touched on that in the post game interview where he said, we're just trying to get out of danger, so
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
Yeah, and it's valid. You don't want to play with it back there.
And we know that he doesn't have the best feet. Seattle knew that. That's why they pressed him so much.
Yeah.
So they were just trying to get the ball in his feet and then make him make a mistake, which he came close a couple times. But the good thing is that he's sticking to the game plan, just boot it out. So
yeah, as you should. And the LA Galaxy win this match 1-0 in a very, very ugly and boring game that they had against each other. It was fun for the fans though, because after it was a party in the tailgate, which I really loved. So let me give you guys the current MLS standings in the Western Conference.
Oof.
In first place, it's cold up here. So lonely. The LA Galaxy with 12 points. Vancouver Whitecaps with 10, second place. In third place, I was going to say the Seattle. Salt Lake. 4, Minnesota. 5, Houston Dynamo. 6, Sporting Kansas. 7, Colorado. Look at that.
Oh, 8. They had a big win. They had a big win this week, huh?
Yeah.
Huge win.
Yeah. In 8th spot, Portland. In the 9th spot, our noisy neighbors. 10, St. Louis. Austin at 11th. FC Dallas at 12. At 13, San Jose. And, of course, the Seattle Baby Whales in 14th place. Supporter Shield, the LA Galaxy, again, it's cold up here. The LA Galaxy leads the Supporter Shield with 12 points. Actually tied with Cincinnati. We have the same.
It's goal differential.
It's just goal differential. Let's check this out. We have 13 goals, except we've conceded 9, so it's not that good.
Yeah, no other team has scored more goals in the Galaxy except for Inter Miami.
Yes, which says a lot about how properly this office is being ran. Before we get into your rant, Edgar, I want to ask you guys a question. When do we start giving Greg Vanney credit for this team's success?
I would say already.
No, I'm going to say when they're back.
No, I'll tell you what. Okay. This goes. This flies against what I'm going to say later on, but that's not Vanney's fault. I'm just going to say give him some credit for what he's done so far, because before the season started, we were discussing how much leeway we were going to give him, and some people were saying, let's wait until the middle of the season and then grade his performance. And some people were saying, let's give him 5 or 6 games and grade his performance then. Look at where the team is now. They're not in last. Right? They're in first place. So the optics, which optics are a very important thing, the eye test, right? The optics are that this team is definitely on its way back. Some people are saying they are back. So that should be enough to say, hey, Vanney is doing the best that he can with what he has available to him right now. So give the guy some credit.
Yeah. And he had a few words when they were asking him about the schedule. And he said, when I looked at the schedule, To be honest with you, at the start of the season, I thought, shit, this is going to be a really difficult start to the season because of the number of games that are on the road against really good opponents that are hard to beat, that we don't have a particular great record against. And I think that's what every Galaxy fan thought when we saw the first few games of the season. I know
Yeah.
Edgar mentioned it last week that he's surprised at the LA Galaxies where they're at, seeing of the opponents that they actually played thus far. So I'm gonna go to you, Edgar. Is the Galaxy
Yes.
back?
No, they're not
Go
back.
ahead.
No, they're not back.
Go
Danny,
ahead.
They still haven't had a convincing win, in my opinion. There were people say, "Well, what about the San Jose win?" Well, look at where San Jose is right now. Okay. Anyway, um, let's look at all the games so far and who Galaxy have played. Right, they played Miami, and we just mentioned how they're the only team that has scored more goals than the Galaxy so far, and so that was a game Galaxy should have won. There was some real shoddy officiating, and it affected the result and ended up with that red card that messed things up for us at the end. So, okay, credit to the Galaxy. But Inter Miami was coming off a very rough schedule, and they were in the middle of trying to do CONCACAF Champions Cup play. And so, this is a team that was going in different directions all at once. And yeah, they're pretty strong and all that. But it's a game Galaxy could have also lost. But let's give it to them, okay? Then you look at the rest of the teams, right? Nashville, that was a draw, right? Nashville, 11th place, 1 win, 4 draws, 1 loss. Sporting Kansas City, Galaxy came back to beat these guys, which is fantastic. It's the first time Vanny defeats Vermees, which is fantastic. Galaxy has a hard time winning in Kansas City, which is, that makes the win even more great. Sporting Kansas City, I'll give it to them. SKC right now, they're in 6th place with 2 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. But then you look at the rest of the opponents Galaxy's played against. St. Louis is not having a good season, and they're very frustrated. They just had a very tough loss on the road against RSL. And St. Louis City has 1 win, 4 draws, and 1 loss. A lot of those draws felt like losses to them because they're so used to not losing games like this, especially because they had such a hot start last year. So right now they're pretty disappointed. And then you look at the last two, right? I'm not saying the last two games, but you look at the last two people that I'm lining up. San Jose, 1 win, 5 losses. They haven't had any draws. And in Seattle, no wins, 2 draws, 3 losses. So these teams in total, 8 wins, 15 draws, 13 losses. This is who Galaxy has done well against, right? To get to first. Now, people are saying, okay, well, this is good that they're in first place. Well, yes, you're supposed to win these games. Galaxy is supposed to win these games, obviously, against lesser opponents, but they've been getting a lot of breaks during this time, where there is injuries to key players in their teams, scheduling conflicts, shoddy officiating. But you look at this last game, they struggled to defeat Seattle, who have a lot of issues with aging players and a long, long list of injuries. As Shayon explained to us on the midweek show, we were also saying that the Seattle game was a trap game, and it was. But Jordan Morris missed his golden opportunity to draw the Sounders even. Now, you want to talk about a trap game? Look forward to this weekend against the struggling LAFC.
Yeah.
They just got folded by Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
but they're going to want to bounce back big in the Tráfico. That's a trap game. And then after that, it's Vancouver, who is off to a fantastic start. So these are 2 big tests that are coming up. If they can get through these 2 games that are coming up right now, then we can say,
then they're
okay,
back.
these guys are back. But as of right now, they haven't played anybody that has really been at the top form. So as far as they're back, go ahead, celebrate. Yeah, they're back on top of the league, but I feel like it's a mirage. There's still a lot of things that they still need to fix and remedy. And also, you look at how paper thin they are in the center back position. They're looking something for that. They're trying to fix that. You look at how fragile they are up top, right? There's Dejan and Miguel Berry. Dejan's hurt. Miguel Berry He's not the answer.
Yeah, I mean,
So
you
let's
could
just hope that they can keep it going. But this weekend, big test. Vancouver, even bigger test. Let's see how it goes.
yeah, and imagine we would have kept Billy Sharp.
Facts.
That would have been nice.
How does the song go?
I
El
forgot.
tiburón.
Billy well, boop,
No,
boop.
el tiburón. How does that go?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, but it's all right. I wanted to add to what you just mentioned about the LA Galaxy scheduling and all that. In years past, this team wouldn't have done this.
No.
In years past, that comeback against Kansas City does not happen.
Mhm.
There's a whole different air in this team. And what the biggest difference is, and Mark actually mentioned it in his post-game interview when asked, and he said, quite easy. We're getting results. And it one is the players that you do have, which I mentioned earlier in the show, that there's a capable front office that is giving us those type of players that are getting us those results. When you're winning, you're happy. It Imagine that. That's a solution. You win, you're happy.
Thunk it.
And the thing is, when you're beating these teams who are depleted, your confidence keeps growing. Confidence keeps growing. And when you do end up facing somebody that could actually match you, you're gonna have the confidence to go in there and take 3 points, whether it's away or whether it's at home. So right now they're building that I'm back status or we're back status, and it's not a bad trend that they're going. I mean, I know you mentioned that the next game is going to be a trap game, and I mean the undefeated streak is on the line against a team who just lost at away, so they're going to want to come home and perform in front of their fans. So it is going to be a big test. Do I think we're going to lose? Fuck no, but spoiler alert. You can tune into the midweek show. We'll be talking some mess. Hopefully we got some lined up. If not, I mean, Edgar and I could talk our shit.
Who cares
Anyway,
about him anyways?
yeah, nah. Anyway, let's give out some awards.
Ayo.
Yeah, let's start off with the Game is Off award. Willis, since you haven't been here for a while, you get to go first, sir.
Yeesh.
Who is your Game is Off?
Probably gonna be me because I can't think of one. But game is off. I'm gonna say it's not. I guess it's not really game is off. I just expected more. But and I know I can already hear fucking Spenny's voice. This is game. This is game. Okay, whatever. But I expected much more from him, seeing that I've seen him play in Atlanta and he has played better. I'm gonna say Miguel Betty because that's a big body, man. That's a big body, and he was still getting punked off the ball. That was crazy to me. So, and he just wasn't doing anything up top. He really wasn't. I expected more from him, even if I know that his game is not spectacular and it's not, he's not a superstar, but it was quite obvious that he just wasn't on the same pace as the rest of his teammates. So, for me, the Geo Award is going to go to Miguel Betty.
Yeah, I have to agree. And the unfortunate part is that what Gia said, right? He didn't seem to be on the same page as his teammates. He's been there since the very beginning of the year. So he's had time to understand batting ball and how the scheme is going to work in the offensive scheme. I'm sure with such limited firepower up top, they've had enough time to figure out how to get him and Dayon in situations where they can score. And this is why he was brought in. He wasn't just brought in to come in as a sub. He was brought in for those nights or those days when Dayon is hurt or he's dinged up or he just can't suit up for whatever reason, or they want to rest him. Oh, step in, Miguel. Let's see what you got. And, he failed his first test. We've always heard he's slow and he just you have to give him the ball in the right spot for him to like really do something with it. And last night just wasn't the case. Maybe he got so used to playing at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, right? That when it starts raining, just cover it up. And he's just not used to playing in the rain and the grass, baby. But yeah, definitely. His game is off. He's supposed to, they pay him to score goals, man.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to actually get like a good rating on the players against Seattle just because of the rain and every. I think that kind of mucked up everybody's game too. But I'll agree with you guys. Miguel Berry. I mean, it is his first start with the team. We see how when Peck first started, it was last week. I mean, he didn't look that great, but this game, he looked amazing. So maybe another start with Miguel, but change that. All right, it's a sweep for the game is off for Miguel Berry. All right, so we go to the You've Got Hartman Award, the honorable mention. Willis, who do you have as your honorable mention?
Honorable mention. I think it's gonna have to go to one of the guys that, for some reason, people wanted out. I don't understand why. And he showed it last game when he came in as a sub, and he showed it this game as a starter that he is one of the main pieces of this team. I'm gonna have to give it to Gaston Brugman. Gaston Brugman is just a level above what Cedillo is, and he shows his class every time. Honestly, why people wanted him out, I don't understand. But he played well. He balanced the team out pretty well in the first half and parts of that second half. And after Cedillo came in, you saw that the Galaxy lost their bite. So, and that was part to Brugman being out. So, got some Brugman for You Got Heartman Award.
Edgar.
I'm gonna give it to Joseph Pinto. I just feel like he continues to be a menace, man. He continues to create chaos and disruption wherever he goes, even driving his teammates into fits, right? So he set up that play so beautifully for Peck, and then obviously he had that shot that went off the post, and I wish he could have done more, but this is a good body of work so far. So yeah, the guy's got a lot of heart. He shows it every week. You got heart, man.
Still got the assist. I want to give it to him too, but I'm gonna do a goof one. Not a goof one because he's shown us that. Yep. You already know.
Anyway.
King Zavaleta gets my heart, man. Hey, he comes in and he kept us at donuts. It's because of him that we didn't get scored on. Thank you very much.
It was pupusas, bro. He kept us at pupusas.
Pupusa power. This time he didn't use the fork. That's why he's been playing good. Dude, we know the secret sauce now. He threw away the forks for the pupusas. It's obvious. It's obvious.
I bet you he's Loroco once, huh?
Ooh, those are bomb. What do you mean?
Hell no.
I like any pupusa, man, and I'm not even from El Salvador.
El Capitán Cuscatleco, come on.
Eso, chele.
Eso, chele. Eso todo, chele.
Dale,
all right. Well, now for the most prestige award of all of MLS. Prestigious.
Worldwide.
The next standing player of the match. I think this is a sweep, right?
I think it should be.
Acknowledge him.
I think this is a sweep. Hey, and side note, it's not like a diss. It's just an observation. But Gabriel Peck has a really square head. Where am I tripping?
You say he looks like JD McDonough or something?
I don't know, but he has a really square head. And that square head got him the goal. Well, not header, but,
It's like SpongeBob.
Gabriel Peck, he is everything that was advertised. We're seeing game and game where he's given chances, and once he gets full stride, man, this team is going to be very dangerous.
Yeah.
I like what I'm seeing so far. I think everybody that goes to the Galaxy games and watches this man play likes what they're seeing so far. Oh, I don't know, man. You said we're not back, but it's feeling like we are. Hopefully we get tested a lot throughout the season so we can see more and more of this young man succeed. So Gabriel Peck, gets the next standing award from all of us. Facts. He is your next stand player of the match. All right, lads. I was actually going to ask you guys a question. Did I ask you guys already? Let's see.
We just asked us a question right now.
Yeah, I think I did. All right, well, let's get to some questions that we were asked on Twitter or X or whatever. Is it Twitter?
X-Twitter.
That thing.
It's X. All right. Give me, let's see. Damn, I should have had these pulled up. How professional of me, per usual. Ricardo Cisneros on X at Mosca902. What's up with the angry body language of Yamane? Oh, we spoke about that.
Yeah.
It could have just been him, because he makes those runs and he wants to get hit on those runs, and
Yeah, who doesn't,
it's
man? Who
yeah, it's
doesn't?
frustrating when you're making the runs to try to get on the offense and give more toward the offense and you don't get hit. So yeah, I understand that. Let's see. Question number 2 from Easy. Is Vanny going to stop making questionable substitutions?
No.
No.
Vanny.
Were his substitutions in this match in particular questionable?
Just the Jovanic one, I think.
Because
At
Zabaleta
least for
came
me.
in for Cáceres.
Well,
who was
Jovic was hurt, man.
Yeah, Jovic
That's,
was hurt.
that's
You don't
why.
give him-
That's the reason. I was like,
Yeah.
well, why?
You took out Gaston to put in more defense with Cerillo,
Exactly.
which is
That was a
understandable.
good sub.
The Joseph Painstill at the end, at the
I think-
85th with
I
Diego
think he was
Fagundes.
gassed. I think he was gassed already.
Yeah, well, also the pitch is heavy when it's wet.
Yeah.
So I think he did an all right job this
Yeah.
this week in
I do
substitutions.
I do too.
I think it's just past dramas from this particular coach that we always expect them to make the wrong subs, but it's what, throughout the season he hasn't been bad with any of the subs, and he's had a plan.
Results.
The results.
Results.
Yes, the results. Let's be happy.
Shut up and eat your pie.
You like that pecan pie?
From Ananda, shout out La Cuna Galaxiana. He says, so Eddie was right about the Galaxy not being back? Question mark. And that's for you too, Edgar. More serious question for each of you. What is the one thing that has impressed you the most about the Galaxy this season, either on or off the field?
Resiliency, man. Very resilient. Willis addressed that earlier and you too, that a year ago, actually the last 5 or 6 years, arguably you could say this team gets down. It's really hard for them to get back into games. There were rare exceptions, like for example the Zlatan game, right, against LAFC. But that's Zlatan, right? You're talking about. But in other instances where the team gets down, they just stay down, and it's very hard for them to make a comeback. And when they do, it's something that's very noteworthy. And you're like, wow, that's incredible. I did not expect that. But one thing that I mentioned last week was games like the Kansas City game, games like this one, even this one, right, in the rain, which is ugly, and they still got the win. These are character-defining games. These are games that help build their identity as a club. The fact that my first thing to say was like they're resilient shows you right away that that's who I see them, and to me that's the identity of the club right now. I still don't think they're back, right? I mean, I think they're very resilient. When they get to the point where I feel like, yeah, these guys are back, I could probably change resilient to I feel like they're in supreme mode at this point. They're in boss mode. Then that's a different way to describe them. But at this moment, I feel like they're very resilient. So that means that they're not bad. It just means that they're able to roll with the punches and then take and then shoot one back too.
Yeah.
How do you see them, Willis?
Same. I was gonna say the same, and that is a direct effect of the people they have brought in. Paintsell and Peck have just completely transformed the attack for Vanny and has given them the options that he's wanted since the beginning. Because we remember when he first came in, he was wanting Pavon to stay in because of what he can do, right? So you got somebody who has similar characteristics as maybe a winger of his type with Peck and Paintsell. So he's able to get behind defenses quick. So I think that is the biggest surprise for me. Resiliency.
My thing is the seriousness that the team goes into each and every match. I mentioned this earlier about the team having that let's kill everybody mentality. That's taking your season serious. We haven't been able to hear any of that chatter in the old teams with Vanny. Even when you had a captain of Chicharito's caliber who's played around the globe. This team is serious and they want to kill everybody, and they're showing it on the pitch. They're undefeated for a reason. I think that seriousness is going to take them a very long way. And hopefully we can convince Edgar and Eddie that the LA Galaxy's back sooner than later.
Only one thing will do it, Brian. Only one thing. You already know.
Back-to-back championships. I know.
Yep.
Let's go to Instagram. Logan Jones. We need to trade for Christian Ramirez from Columbus because Barry is ass.
That's assuming that Columbus wants him. I mean, he used to play in Columbus, so maybe it'll be a homecoming for him. But I don't. I mean, Columbus is that's the MLS Cup champs. Do you really think they're gonna want to do the Galaxy a favor?
That's true, dude. Oh, Christian Ramirez here would kill it. That'd be amazing. But I mean, you know what? Let's give Barry a little bit more time because one thing that I do like about him is that when Jovic is on and he does need a break, you could throw in Barry in there and he could cause some chaos for the opposition on defense because he is a big body.
Yeah.
Right. We've seen him do his little techers coming off the bench and getting people with him. So let's not act like he can't play.
Well, that's the thing. That's why one of the reasons I gave him the Geo because I expected more because I see more. I know his game. So
in his limited time. Yeah.
Yeah.
From Lewis, Ellie's our house. Shout out to Ellie's our house. He says, yes.
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 We.
Yes. Yes.
We.
All right.
We.
Cool. Like
Cool.
it.
I love it.
Yes.
Adam DC.
Yes.
Hold on. I just lost
Wait,
it.
are you sure it was yes or not? Yeah.
It was a yes.
Oh, okay.
Adam DC 25. A Sudford win at the end, but necessary. Happy for the effort. I agree.
Facts.
Bagarang 77. Brisket at the tailgate.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
I want some brisket. Give me some like Kansas City barbecue.
We'll have the barbecue with them. Haha. Nah.
Yeah.
And Adam DC 25, once again, glad to have some momentum heading into next week's El Tráfico.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that does it for the questions and for the comments. And thank you to everybody who submitted their questions and comments. You guys are truly appreciated. All right, guys. Next week, El Tráfico. Edgar, will we have somebody lined up, or did you want to just do one us two?
We don't have anybody lined up at the moment, which it's just fine. I understand that. Well, for the Smurfs, we had Saz come in, and but Saz is he's a nice guy. We like Saz. Which is kind of interesting, right? 'Cause you think of the Smurfs and you think about old rival, but LFC, that's a whole different kind of rivalry. So we're gonna keep it in house for this week.
But in future episodes, though, if we do end up getting somebody, I don't mind doing a show because I think it would be interesting to see the banter between two local podcasts rooting for different teams.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
It'll definitely be something that we consider. But for right now, let's keep it in house.
Just keep it G. Keep it G.
Keep it G rated. Yeah.
Right. And
keep it PPG. Puro pinche Galaxy.
Or maybe we might bring in somebody else. Or maybe we'll bring in somebody who does cover the team, like Mike Gray, for example.
Maybe
we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Or maybe an LAFC favorite, right? Somebody LAFC loves. We could bring in Eli Lesser to talk about LAFC. No, I'm just kidding.
That'd be amazing. They love him over there.
Oh, they absolutely adore him.
Shout out to Eli, by the way. Anyway, that is it for us at News Across the Galaxy. Thank you to everybody who tuned in on this Easter Sunday. Hopefully, everybody was able to crack some eggs. If not, well, too bad. Sucks to suck. Anyway, you can find me as Brian Tenags on Instagram and X/Twitter. Edgar, where can they find you?
Hey, wait a minute. Am I going to mention there's something else big is happening next weekend?
What is happening next week? Oh, yeah.
WrestleMania.
Baby.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Roman Reigns is going to retain. That's all I'm saying. Nah.
Let that guy finish the story already.
Yeah, you know what? That'd be horrible booking if he did retain, dude. I would be so mad.
And then have Roman win it back on the next Monday night.
Yeah.
Or have him win it, and then Mr. Money in the Bank comes in, Senor Money in the Bank.
Ooh, and you know what? It's gonna be a great WrestleMania. If anybody knows of any WrestleMania viewing parties / Galaxy parties, Let us know because we'd
You
probably
imagine
be
that
interested in
two
that.
big
Oh,
ass TVs.
I think we just made
WrestleMania
one.
on one side and
I think we
Tráfico
just
on
made
the
one.
other.
We just made one.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
What can they find you, Edgar?
Yes, I'm so sorry. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as Edgar Nags Willis.
You can find me on Twitter X Twitter,
Yeah,
whatever.
X Twitter.
What is _89?
I totally forgot to mention this. Shout out to Chewy on the ones and twos. I
Yes,
know he's muted.
Chuyazo.
I know he's muted. I don't know if he wants to give out his socials. I'm pretty sure it's Chavez Ha. Pretty easy, pretty simple. Something. I don't know.
You got it. Yeah, you got it
Isn't
right.
it Chavez Ja?
Chavez Ja.
Ya, para.
You got it right.
Shout out to Chewy. Oh, there it is. See?
Love it,
got it
Chewy. Love it.
Shout out to Chewy. And shout out to Ezra, your son Ezra, who just turned 8 years old. Remember?
Well,
Oh,
it was his
wow.
birthday party, and they decided to have it like a week early. But yeah, he's turning 8. I mean, I'm sorry, he's turning 4 on April 8th.
Yeah.
So it's 4. He's turning 4 on 448. So come on, man, my brain's like,
That's cool.
wait, 448.
Nah, he's turning 8. It's cool. Fake
No,
ID.
he's not. He's not 8 yet, man.
He's 8 at 4.
turning
It's cool.
He's turning 4.
Fake ID. You can give him soda now. There it is.
All
All right.
yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. But that does it for us. Thank you, everybody, support. And yeah, follow us on Music Across the Galaxy on all platforms. And also go to nagtv.com. Check out Edgar's ratings on the kits. And make sure to stay tuned for our retweets of the tournament that's going down between, it's the final, right? Chicago
Final.
versus
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Make sure to go and vote. Even if you don't like the teams, if you're into like jerseys and stuff, go in there, vote, and yeah, let's get it going. So that does it for me, Bryant, Edgar, Willis, Chewy on the ones and twos. We're gonna get up out of here, and as always, keep on nagging.
Keep on nagging.
Nagging.
Undefeated, baby.
Wu-Tang for life.
Undefeated, baby. Undefeated. Undefeated.